Hi, I'm Russell Leake, and let's have a look on Libro how we can create a virtual bird's eye view. So if I wanted to look at this attack and say at this particular moment I want to create more of a bird's eye view of the strategy, the first thing I've got to do is come in here and create a 3D frame. So I hit detect using the AI. You can then see that it's immediately detected very quickly. And now I can create a different view. So I could go closer to the action and add that as a virtual view, and now I can transition between those. But what I can also do here is if I left click and hold down, I then get add a top view. And if I go to the top view, you can see that now I'm able to do these transitions between the top view and the virtual view. If I go back to my timeline, as I'm going along the timeline, I could then say, well, at this point in this footage, what I'd like to do is to then add a virtual view. So I click on this icon to show me those virtual views. I could start by coming in closer, so I could do that. So let me just add that to the timeline. So I said add flight to this camera, so now it flies in, and now we can extend this pause out. And what we could do then is to be able to see how long do we want to pause in that particular view. And don't forget, at any point I can still annotate, I can still add all my graphics to this at this point. And now if I wanted to, I could then come out to this bird's eye view. So let's do that. So we now fly out to that view, but hang on, I hear you say there's no data for all of this. It's black. So this is where we add our virtual stadium. So if I choose the place where I want to start that transition and I add my virtual stadium in, then I can adjust the transition of the virtual stadium of when it's coming in. So you can see it starts to come in, and now I've got my virtual stadium. I can extend it out as well, so I can see. So now my pause can go on longer, and if I wanted to, now at this point in the pause, I would then be able to annotate on top of this to be able to show more strategy or what the play had been, etc. And of course it works really nicely when we start to add things like the heat map, because then in the heat map you start to see where the play is going. You can link that to data, etc. So that's the bird's eye view. If I go back to my 3D view, there are also the left penalty area, the right penalty area, etc. So there are various different ways that you can create that bird's eye view.